Without a shadow of a doubt, it is the greatest show in social media history. I want to welcome you to the War Zone. I got my co-host, Donovan Sadiq. He gonna work the comments tonight. Demetra K. And I am the 5-star general. And I'm gonna tell you something, man. If you ain't never seen these boys live, you missing something, man. Grammy nominated. The Hamiltons are in the building, man. We finna get ready to get into it. Say, I want to welcome you guys to the War Zone. We apologize. We're running a little bit behind, but that's okay because things happen. But tonight we're going to do this a little bit differently. Donovan is going to work the comments from outside of the room because y'all know we like to be interactive with our guests. And me and Demetri are going to conduct the interview. Now, I don't know if y'all have ever seen these guys live. I've had the pleasure, they never knew it. I've had the pleasure of seeing them multiple times. Multiple times. And I've never seen anything like it, man. I mean, they can just these boys don't sing, they sing, man. They can flat out sing, man. And it's an honor and a pleasure to have the Hamiltons in the building with us tonight. What's going on, Doc?
What's happening?
What's going on, my brother?
Oh man, thank you so much for taking time out to grace our program, man. It's an honor to have you good dudes in the building, man. Hold on. Let me get Vito back in the building. He fell off. We can get him to connect his mic. There you go. He coming back in. So first of all, man, I'm gonna turn this over to Demetra. I could ask 1,000 questions, but I'm gonna let the ladies go first. And what we do is sometimes, and I want to make sure y'all understand this. I got these guys Cash App up, $ the Hamiltons NC. Say, man, bless these dudes, man. Say, everybody right now ain't working. They can't sing. We can't go to work. Y'all know how we do it on this show, man. So you got the Cash App. Let's bless these cats with some, so that we can show them some love. So I'm gonna turn this over to Demetri. You got it, mama.
So hello to everybody watching, and hello to the Hamiltons. I have so many questions, but I want to start off with this. Many people probably have heard of you from the interview with the Breakfast Club. Some people say that was the defining moment that really put you out there when you actually sang, put some respect on my name, or put some respect on it. The play on words from Birdman, the interview that he had with Charlemagne that kind of went left, if you will. So would you all say that was a defining moment for you? And if not, what was the defining moment for you all as a group on your own away from Anthony Hamilton?
I would say that that was I won't say that was the defining moment, but I will say that was a big moment for us in our time span of being the Hamiltons. That was definitely a huge moment that really kind of put us out there for the people, for the world, to see who we are and what we do.
Now, so as Gary said, you guys don't sing, y'all sing. And for anybody out there who has never heard them, shame on you, first of all, okay? But you guys, as he said too, you guys were nominated for a Grammy in 2017. Now, the category you were nominated for was, let's see, Best Traditional R&B Performance. And I think that came around in 1998. And anybody can answer this. In your opinion, why do you think they had to make a separate category for that? Because it seems like it was just, I guess, R&B, but then they made a traditional. Is there something about R&B that became non-traditional?
I don't know. Like for me, and I could say for the group, I think that music just kind of took a turn in a totally different direction from what R&B really was at the beginning. I think I don't want to say supposed to be, but what the intention of R&B was. You know, the whole name of R&B is rhythm and blues. You feel me? So R&B is more or less pop now. And in some instances it's rap, you know, or hip hop. But I think they are saying traditional R&B because cats like Anthony, um, the Hamiltons. I will even go to say maybe like Urban Mystic, PJ Morton, BJ the Chicago Kid, um, Jill, Erica, like all of these artists right here kind of put you back in that zone where it was more about rhythm, the rhythm of the beat. And I think the blues personified the writing portion of what people were talking about in that time frame, which now I guess would be considered a little bit, I don't want to say outdated, but a little bit more in the old school. So now they have to call it traditional the way it was at one point in time. But now it's a little different because there aren't that many artists that are out doing it in that way.
Let me ask you guys a question. I mean, I've seen it. I've seen you live. What is it? What is it like? You know, before the show, because I've been doing music for 35 years, so I know I got a ritual before I do whatever I do, and God knows, as good as people think I am, I'm nervous before every show, even after 35 years. I'm always
Yeah.
nervous. What is it like before you guys get ready to go on stage, whether you're by yourself or whether you with Anthony? Who has the bubble guts before they go on stage, man?
Well, if I could say, I
Uh,
don't want to sound too cocky or anything, but we always say to each other, like, even when we getting on each other, like, we do this. Like, this is what we do. I don't think nobody's ever gotten nervous per se. The energy in the dressing room, I was gonna say locker room, but it feels like the locker room. The energy in the dressing room is always great. So everybody that's in the dressing room, whether it's a band member or us, we're always around each other. Like, it's we all are responsible enough to, get in our minds, okay, it's showtime. And we know this is work for us. This is how we take care of our families, and this is, how we make money. So, for us, it's, put your game face on, get yourself in shape for the stage. Because when we go on stage, we leave it all out there. That's why when you come to a show, it's so easy well, we strive to give you an experience. So it's easy for you to enjoy it when you can relax and have fun. Everything else just comes natural. But we just want people to always enjoy themselves. So, it's always important to be in a neutral place before you go on stage. That way you could always leave it out there.
E2, what is it like to work with a guy like Anthony Hamilton, man? Because Hamilton is like, man, that dude. Honestly, I got married to one of his songs. That I got married to an Anthony Hamilton song. She came down the aisle on an Anthony Hamilton song. My favorite song at the wedding reception was "Giving You the Best of Me." What is it like working with this cat, man? Because he's phenomenal.
well, working with Ant was, it's pretty cool. We actually haven't really worked with him in a while, because we've really, or he's allowed us to spread our wings as the Hamiltons. But working with him is really, really dope. Cool guy, down to earth, just a real regular guy. Nobody, or he's not a person that sits on the pedestal or anything. He's just one of the bros. It's all good vibes.
Any new projects you guys are working on right now? I know it's kind of tough with this pandemic thing, and you know this pandemic has really just messed up everything for everybody.
In a
But,
major way.
but I know that you guys are working on something behind the scenes, or you were working on something. Kind of
Yeah,
give people a little insight to that.
Yeah, for sure. Everybody that's out there that's watching right now, commenting, we definitely appreciate you. And we just want to encourage y'all to head over to our YouTube page. We are in a new norm, and we are the type of group that loves to be close to our people. I don't like to call them fans. We don't like to call them fans. We rather call them supporters. So we like to be close to our supporters because they support us. And we try to do the same thing in return by giving y'all something that's gonna make y'all smile or feel good on a bad day or a good day. So YouTube has kind of been the new place where we are now. I know Instagram and Facebook and some of these other places we were there, and in the physical we were in whatever city we were in. But we've been putting up all kind of creative content and YouTube. Of course, right now we got Watch the Tones, the B side, which is I think prelude. Not prelude. That's the wrong word. It's the what am I saying, Tui? It's the after of the first album that we just did, and the first album was called Watch the Tone, which is also available. This album is also available, and this album has been doing the best for us in a pandemic, which is amazing and which is a blessing because we haven't really been able to go out. We haven't been able to tour. We haven't been able to be in the faces of the people and encourage them to go and cop it. It's good. I listened to it a couple of nights ago as I was playing PS4 just to see the vibe. And man, I'm telling you, it's one of those albums you can put on when you're riding around. It's one of those albums you can put on when you're cooking. It's one of them albums you can put on when you're just sitting around having a nice drink, whether it's Coke or wine, you know.
Dimitri?
So Vito, I'll ask you this question. Recently, I'm in California, so the Hollywood Bowl had to cancel all of their concerts until next year, and it's never been done in like the 93-year history that it's been around. So, how far back have you all had to push your touring schedule? Is it because also we bought my father Smokey Robinson tickets at the Greek, and they pushed it back all the way September 2021. So, have you guys had any tours pushed back that far?
We had a lot of dates canceled. I don't think we really set a date for the new for the new time, but it definitely has been a lot of cancellations, and as much as we hate, I mean, as much as we love being around people and loving on the people and giving them our energy and our music, we can't do that. So we just got, it just took a whole lot out, and it sucks.
Yeah, and I mean, and obviously we know that's due to the coronavirus. And like I said, out here in California, I don't even think they're entertaining having any sporting events or any of that kind of stuff really until next year. And so you all were speaking about the new normal. So other than your YouTube channel, what are the ways that you guys thinking about doing doing to try to reach fans? Because a lot of people are, as you guys probably saw, Versus, where Jill Scott and Erykah Badu, I guess they gave you guys a shout out last week when they were doing their battle, if you will, the Verses. And so people are having to do that kind of stuff. Are you all thinking about doing things like that in the future?
We're definitely trying to expand our horizons from a digital standpoint. Since everything, or it seems like everything is now through Zoom and other streaming and meeting platforms. That's the way everything is kind of going. So we're really strategizing how to use those things to our advantage, being that we can't get out and physically interact with our fans. So we've been having meeting after meeting after meeting, just finding out the best approach to being able to interact with our fans from different locations. But because we're all in different cities across North Carolina, we're trying to figure out ways to where we can all interact, collectively, but in separate locations. So that's what we're working on now. So we got some ideas that that are coming down the pipeline that hopefully you guys and the rest of the world will be seeing soon from us.
So here's a question, man. How did the Hamiltons get started? What was the starting point?
Yeah, we all were our own separate artists, producers. Me and Vito come from the traditional gospel arena. Going back to when we was talking about traditional and R&B, we're from the traditional gospel, so that's the old school vibe. And Tui's from more of a contemporary aspect. And we all kind of just said, you know what, we've been doing this gospel thing for a while. We're just gonna go out and kind of just go out and sing, do what God gave us the ability to do. So it was a meeting ground every Wednesday, I think around 9 o'clock, called Club Allure. And Tua used to come in and shut it down. Then Vito started coming in and shutting it down. Ended up heading the band that was over that particular meeting ground or a club, whatever you want to call it. And then I would come in from time to time and do stuff. So the two guys that was over the club or the event, which was called um, so what was it? Soul. Um, what was it?
Soul
So what was it?
Stage.
So
Yeah,
say,
Soul
so
Stage.
say.
And Kenny Leonard and Rashard Jenkins. Kenny was the MD for Anthony Hamilton, and he ended up just grabbing us all at different times. So we just went from being our own artists, and from going to Allure, we all ended up meeting up with Kenny. Tui actually previously knew Kenny. He was on tour with Shucks, Fantasia, Jodeci, Casey and JoJo. Vito learned of Kenny um, through his ways, and then I knew Kenny musically from being a musician. And then I think Vito came first, and then came Tui. Then I was the last one to come, and that kind of began the Hamiltones. Um, and the name kind of originated in a different light. I don't think we knew we were the Hamiltones at that point until the name came around. That's a whole different story.
North Carolina has really put out some great talent, man. Um, I would always go up to Charlotte every year for the Wells Fargo golf tournament, and it's like it's a whole different vibe up there. I'm from Texas, so it's a whole different vibe up there, man. It get cold as hell, but y'all boys be going at it, man. Yeah,
Get
I
cold
can't.
in Texas too, though.
Yeah. So let me ask you this here, man, because I think which one of you guys are married? Any of you guys married?
I am.
Okay, so this question ain't for you, it's for the single men in the building.
Sure.
I'm actually on my way. I'm a
You
few
on your
months
way?
out, so I'm actually on my way.
About to get everybody caught up on the interview.
Hey,
About to get
man,
everybody caught up on the interview now.
say before you got married, because I done been on the road. I've been
Yeah.
on the road, man. What it's like on the road, man? Is because the ladies want to know about the groupies. Is it wild when you on the road, man?
It's everything is there. It's just up to you to indulge. And I think I could just leave it at that.
True.
It's everything is out there from the women
Yeah.
to the drugs to the whatever. Everything is there. It's just up to you if you going to indulge in it or not, man. I mean it's easier because of course of the celebrity, aspect. So it's all about you. So whatever you think is out there, 9 times out of 10 is out there. It's just all about the person.
It's real.
All right. Well, here's my next question. I'll pass to Dimitri. Um, are you guys in? I mean, with what you're seeing with this election year and all of this, because some days we get real political, but we don't go too hard on our guests.
Let's go.
Where do you because North Carolina has had some serious issues when it came to African Americans. It's been some major things pop off in North Carolina. How are you guys interacting with your community? Do you do any community work, as far as helping out the community? Because I know a lot of celebrities don't have the time, but some of them actually make time. So tell me that.
When well, me personally, I can't speak for the other guys, but when I'm around and it's something for me to kind of latch on to, I do when I have time. I go to my church where my dad is a minister at. and I help, you know, every now and then. You know, I might sing at a play or pass out food or whatever for you know certain. We had like a tornado, a bad tornado came through here, and I went and bought water and passed out water and different things like that. So when time permits and it's you know something for me to latch on to, I'm definitely there when I can be there.
Demetri?
Um, and this question is for all of you, or you can speak as a group. Especially with this coronavirus going on. A lot of people, I don't want to say exposed, because that sounds like a bad word, but I guess the realness is coming out as far as what a lot of celebrities and music artists are actually going through. Because it was Gabrielle Union who spoke about a lot of, I guess, people in Hollywood, Black people in Hollywood, are actually struggling financially due to not being able to work. And so, um, like, how real is that? Because from what we see, being on the fan side, we think everything is all good. You know, everybody's driving nice cars and nice houses and stuff. And to actually hear something like that, it's a little bit shocking. So, like, how real is that from you guys' point of view as artists?
I would love to answer
You want to answer that?
for whoever.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, you go, and then everybody. She said she wanted to answer. Go ahead,
For
brother.
sure.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I mean, it's definitely a real moment. I mean, at the end of the day, as performers, you got to remember we're still human. We're still people. So you definitely feel the effects. You know, and we have other musician friends, and we talk. I've talked to them. Some I talk to them on an everyday basis, and you see the toll that this is taking on people, like different ones. Like you see it and you hear it. Like you see it and you hear it. Like the energy just isn't there, and it's like people are just tired. And I mean, as serious as this is, you know, people want to get out and get back to their normal lives, but at the same time, they want that, but they're afraid to. You know, when you can't just, you can go to the store to get your essential needs, but you know, who's to say it's safe? Who's to say the person that came in the store that day isn't infected, and then just that one day that you come in, you happen to, you know. So you know, every day that we all, you know, me, even the risk that I have to take every day, you know, it's really gut wrenching when it hits home. You know, we never know how it feels until it hits home, and until it's in your house, until it's in your living room, and until it's, you know, it's you in the situation. We never know how it is until it hits home, and I think this has affected all of us in different ways. And it sucks. For me, it sucks.
I can piggyback off that, and just like my bro said, but I'm gonna come even deeper. This is what it is. We all have jobs, right? And everybody loves what it is that they do. Most times, some people don't, but most people would rather have a job that they love what they do. So for us, this is what we do. This is our way of life. For most actors, this is what they have done. This is their way of life. For a person that is a whatever it is that you do, most people that are in that trade, this is what they do. When that's abruptly taken away from you, and that's how you pay your bills, that's how you make sure that your kids are straight, that's how you make sure that mortgage is good, land, if you own that, when that's abruptly taken away and it's not your fault, and you have nothing to do with why it's taken away, it is like a punch in the stomach when you're not expecting it. You know, when you going and somebody hit you in the stomach, you don't expect it, it take all of the air out of you. But at least when you know it's coming, you can clench up a little bit and take the impact. It may still hurt, but not as bad. This totally hit everybody in the entertainment community by surprise. So everybody's like, yo, even if you're saving money, I'm an advocate, and the Hamiltons are advocates. Save your money. Save your money. Don't get out here and just be blowing your money. We save money, but it does not matter, because even if you save money, you got to remember you have to have money coming in order to continue to save. If you don't have it coming in, how are you going to save the money? You're still going to have to pay bills. And the unfortunate part about not only North Carolina, not only Texas, not only Cali, but all around the world, the bills ain't stopped yet. They still calling like, yo, so we know that you might be not in a good place right now, but how what you thinking? How you feeling about next week? You know what I'm saying? Because we got things and I get it, because they got things they got to pay too. I totally understand it. You feel me? But to answer your question, it don't matter what it looks like. These people may have those things and may have had the finances to be able to get it. If that's what they want, that's what they can get. But when them finances stop coming in, baby, let me tell you something. It don't matter how much you've been flashing. It don't matter what kind of Gucci's you got on. It don't matter about none of that no more. What matters is, what are we going to do to continue to get those finances coming in so we can take care of what it is that we have given to ourselves, whether it's because we wanted it or whether it was because we needed it. So that's why I be telling people, like, there are no celebrities. There are just people that work hard. That's just what it is to me. You know what I mean? If you're willing to work hard at what it is that you do, and you're willing to put yourself out there amongst millions of people and take everything that comes with it, then some people call that a celebrity. I just call that a person that's willing to work hard and then reap the benefits of working hard. You know what I'm saying? But ain't no celebrities. We all the same. That's what the Hamiltons preach. We not no better than nobody. We all the same. So when a recession hits, it don't just hit what some people would call civilians or regular people. It hit everybody. So what they tell you, we all the same. We all the same. That's just what it is to it. And it ticks me off because I got a kid about to go to college. I got a daughter in private home private school, and all of that costs. Ain't nothing free in the world. You feel me? And it's work, man. So the Hamiltons have had to do every creative thing that you can think of, coming from guys that are used to touring. That's what we do. We tour and we go out and we do what we have to do from touring. And from guys that are used to doing that, we're having to take a totally different aspect. So it's hard to be encouraged in this time, but that's what we're doing to make sure that, the people know we're 100% for y'all too. And even though it's hard, we're going to keep pushing.
I got one more question for you guys. I mean, really, it's a statement, man. You said, Demetria, the versus thing. Man, who crazy enough to go up against these cats, man? I don't care what they can sit there and be humble. I don't see nobody out there that's gonna. You can verse all you want, but if we gonna verse, man, let the Hamiltons do what they do, because they don't even need no music, no nothing. So if y'all thinking about versing these dudes, say, man, I bet the T's to 300 on this one. So
Hey, I appreciate that.
I just love your vibe, man. I mean, your music has that gospel feel to it. You can hear it in the voices, and even with y'all, sometimes you don't even know people are watching you. I've been backstage the whole night, and you guys were always the perfect gentleman. You never treated your fans sideways, and I love that. So
Never
that's
will.
why it was always easy for me to buy that ticket, because I got to see everything. And favorite part of the show, when he broke it down and let you do your thing. You see, but I mean, it's what it is. Um, I know it's tough with this coronavirus, but what city? And because I always had one, and I used to love going to. Actually, I used to love going to New Orleans to perform. What's that one city you love going to?
Uh, the one city. I like going to Houston, man. Houston shows us a lot of love, man. I enjoy Houston. We always, or Texas in general, but Houston in specific. But we always get a pretty good turnout when for most of our Texas adventures. Yeah.
Okay, Demetri, you got one
Vito?
more.
Vito?
For me, it's anywhere, man. I've never had a bad experience at really no shows. I mean, everywhere we go, I just like performing. But Canada was a surreal moment for me. Canada was nice. Like, Canada was that moment as a kid that you always dreamed of. singing in front of thousands and thousands of people, and you get to sing your music, and people dancing and singing along with you. Canada gave me that, so I would say Canada. I mean, there's nothing, I love, America and where I'm from, but Canada is just dope. And if you ain't been to Canada, go to Canada. Canada's dope.
I agree. I would have to say the same thing. Like I love America. LA is one of my favorite places to go just because of the vibe. And I like the way cats talk in LA, like being around Jarius and Charlie. And I like the realness of those guys in LA. Like those guys are just straightforward. We going to the store and we coming back right back and we recording. And that's what's gonna be done. So I like it out there. I like the trees, I like the sun, I like the water. I just like it out there. But as far as like where we have performed, I ain't gonna front, bro. Paris was crazy too, though. Now, when we went out there and we got to just hang out and just walk around and experience the differences within things, that was crazy too. So I don't know. It's kind of hard. I like Nashville. Nashville is a vibe. Houston is definitely a vibe. Every time we come to Houston, it's a vibe. Texas. It's a couple of different spots when we down south, like when we go to like Alabama and stuff like that, it's a vibe. I don't know. It's kind of hard to say. It's a couple of ones that got they moment all dependent.
Well, Ms. Dimitri, you got the last question.
Well, I don't necessarily have a question, but I would just say, listening to you all sing, it really reminds you of what music, like real music, is supposed to sound like. You all, and I hate to say it, but in this day and age, you guys are rare. Because like you said, if people have the auto tune and just a whole bunch of stuff, it's rare to hear a group just actually sing. And so I just want to tell you all, I know it's rough, it's rough for everybody, but I just want you to stay encouraged. Hopefully this is over sooner than later, because we want to see you too. So
exactly. I can't wait.
Ain't going nowhere. It's a tough time right now. I ain't gonna front. So to everybody out there that's watching, we appreciate your time. Sure as the hosts do as well. The Hamiltons definitely appreciate your time. And if you find the time, make sure you go out and if you can't purchase, but purchase, watch the tones. The B-side is worth it. You know what I'm saying? Like I said another day, some people will be like, yeah, I'm making shirts, and it'll be not a so good shirt, and the printing not so good, but they're trying to charge you $25-$30 for it. Well, the thing is we trying to give you a $50 product for way cheaper. You know what I'm saying? And when you get it, I promise you, it'll be worth it. And not only that, but hey, say you in some situations where you don't have it, then just stroll over to YouTube and take a watch at what we're trying to do for you. Because all that stuff takes time, and all that stuff takes energy, and all that stuff takes like a lot of thought process and creativity. And it's new for us. So, as much as you can support, do that. That's what helps us right now. But we will make sure that we reciprocate it with some good content and some good music. We ain't going nowhere. We're gonna make it through.
Absolutely.
Say, man, I want to thank y'all for taking time out, brother. I mean, because you didn't have to do it, and we really, really appreciate it. And once we get past this pandemic, man, y'all come on back. You welcome.
It's gonna be crazy.
Back anytime.
It's gonna be crazy.
When you come to my city, the general got love for you. I promise you that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right now. Thank you, man. Say, that was cool. Donovan, come back and hang out with us, man. That was cool. I really feel bad for the good ones.
I know I do too.
The celebrities, man, because I mean, especially guys like them who finally embarking out on their own, trying to get their feet up on them, and then you run into this pandemic, and it just kind of sets you back. It sets you back.
It is heartbreaking. I mean, I really, I don't feel bad for a lot of people, on that level, if you will. But I really felt bad for them because it's like you said. I mean, they're getting ready to get, well, they've been out there for a while, but really about to go do the damn thing, and this damn coronavirus. So, and if you guys are watching, and you have, the money, it's something. go ahead and hit their Cash App. Like I said, visit their store, purchase a t-shirt. I'm going to, when I leave here, go purchase a t-shirt. I'm a t-shirt person. And so I'm going to do, something, even if it's small as purchasing a t-shirt. I'm going to purchase a t-shirt from them because like they said, that's their art. That's what they do, right? They don't do anything else. That's what they do, and they do it for us. And so if you can, reach out in any way you can to help them.
Yeah. Have you guys ever heard of a bad Hamilton EP or album? I've never heard of one.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
They can go.
Right.
They can actually sing, man. They don't need no instruments.
Yep.
I know.
They don't need no instruments.
Yeah, I was talking to Al Jackson, and I think we're going to come up with our own group because I like that groupie thing on the side.
Oh man, this boy. Well, what I want to go to, we're going into part 2 of the discussion. And
I got my vodka.
We might need it for this one.
No, I'm just kidding.
I want to know, what is the infatuation? See, out here we had another police shooting. According to the cops, the guy reached for what looked like, and it ended up being a BB gun from what they tell me. A gun in his waistband. I want to know, what's the infatuation with Black people when you're in that situation? I think your ultimate goal should be to make it home. And this is something I was talking to Brad Scarface Jordan about early in the week. And he say, Ro, what these people got to understand is when they get stopped by these cops, their job is to make it home. We can fight them on another day. We can fight them with some paperwork. But it seems like more and more every day, we're looking at a police shooting first of all, every time they say a police shooting and it's a white man shooting a Black man, that doesn't mean that the cop was wrong. The cop may have actually feared for his life and had no choice. But some of these people are pushing the envelope. Some of them are pushing the envelope. Y'all talk to me.
I'll let Donovan take the lead. This is his specialty in advising people on how not to get shot by the popo.
Well, I wouldn't say it's my specialty, but it's just like you said, you want to come home at the end of the day. The best thing you can do is, I'm not saying, you're a punk because you comply, but give them the basics. You have a right, if they're asking you questions, you have a right to your Fifth Amendment, and just keep it at that. And they can take it from that aspect, and then let your lawyer move on from that point. But, you just got to get home. Last night I was watching, and Demetria, you mentioned that girl that Crump jumped on immediately. He's representing her. Another Black person was killed in her apartment, and they're sweeping a lot of this stuff under the rug. And so, to me, it's almost like they're just shooting and killing as many as they can get away with, because we're putting ourselves in a situation like the general says, where we might be escalating it when you probably don't need to just get the ticket and go about your business. You know what I mean? So, I mean, it's tough, but we can't do what the white guy does. When the white guy goes, "Do you know who I am? My mother have your ass." We can't do that.
Now, Al said, how can a white cop fear for his life when he is the only one that has a gun? Point blank, man. You gotta pick and choose your battles.
Right, but you also got to remember these white cops are, especially the younger ones, even the older ones even worse. They are patrolling an area of people that they are mentally afraid of. And as a military person, a lot of people will tell you there's a problem in the training. Because if you're scared of the very people that you're supposed to patrol and protect and serve, why are you a cop to begin with?
I want to address Al's question. He says, how can a white cop fear for his life when he is the only one that has a gun? Well, first of all, it's a lie. Well, I won't say it's a total lie. There might be some of them that are afraid for their lives, but it's a lie and it's an excuse. It's an excuse to murder Black people wholesale. How many times have we seen police officers shoot somebody in the back? I saw a video that I guess it was out of LA, a 25-year-old Black man who wasn't even the person they were looking for. He was getting pulled over by, he's walking and they're trying to stop him, they being the cops, and he takes off running. And so the sheriff, it was the sergeant, gets out of his car and shoots him twice, shoots him dead as he was running, right? And so we know that cops, it's illegal to shoot people while they're running or and shoot them in their back, even if you are a police officer, right? So, and they completely fabricated the story, said, oh, he looked like he had a gun, which in fact, he never had a gun. He was mentally ill and all of that. So it was a lot of lies going on. So it's a lie. They're not afraid. They know behind that badge that they can kill Black people and get away with it and just say, oh, I was afraid for my life. I thought he had a gun. And you know the cold part about that case too is the DA of Los Angeles, a Black woman, I would loosely call her that, Jackie Lacey, decided by the lies that was told to her that it was a justified shooting. Now, Sean King actually posted the video, the whole video, all the angles, and it wasn't a justified shooting. But they know all they have to do is just say, oh, I was scared, and they get away with it because everybody is taught, I don't care who you are, even Black people, everybody's taught to fear Black men. You guys are scary. You're going to do something. Oh, you know, I thought he was going to lunge at me. And so I shot him. And so that's in everybody's mind that the Black man is this big boogeyman and he needs to be dealt with before he does something to you. So I tend to think most of that is a lie. They're not afraid. It's just an excuse to murder Black people.
Now, there was a shooting in my old neighborhood. That's part of the reason that I'm down here, because I have to meet with the chief of police and the upper brass of the Houston Police Department Monday morning. The problem that I have with it, and they shot this guy, but prior to them shooting him, he ran the cop around the police car or the police vehicle 2 or 3 times. The cop is steady backing up. You run him. See, is it murder or is it murder by suicide? Because if you're gonna do that type of stuff, then you right. They're gonna hit you from the front and knock some meat out the back. So I'm talking to the ones who think, okay, today may be the day where I can just push the envelope with this cop. No, your job is to make it home. We can fight that battle. Like if I'm riding down the road and one of them get behind me, I'm not stopping until I get to a well-lit area. I don't care what you charge me with. And I tell them, well, what took you so long to stop? I need to make sure we're in some light so people can see you. When they stop me, my hand's on the steering wheel. Well, can you get your license and registration? Yeah, if you don't have a problem with it. By the time one cop stopped me on some BS and I went smooth off on him. I went off on him, but he recognized who I was. But some people are not me. So when you're out there and you make the wrong move, if you got something in your waistband that looks like a gun, man, you trying to commit suicide today? You know, I get everything that Demetra says. I agree with her. But some days we put ourselves in that knee-deep water when we don't have to be. I've seen it done. So, we've had 4 shootings, 4 police murders in a month in Houston. 4 police murders in a month. And we know one of them, the Latino brother, was on his knees. They ain't trying to put no body cam out. They won't even talk about it. But the other ones, oh, well, the officer, he was well within his right. We have the body cam. We've let the family see it. Okay. What about the Latino brother? And it's going to keep happening until we decide to do something about it. there has to be some type of justice. So if we gonna, like, I know Monday they have a protest, Black Lives Matter Houston. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. I ain't marching. When you get ready to tell something, let me know.
I have to agree with the general right there. I mean, we've been marching and doing absolutely nothing every time, and we've got these baby boomers. We were talking about that yesterday, I guess. We got these baby boomers that keep telling you what worked in the 60s. What worked in the 60s is not going to work in the 21st century. And this is why they have no fear of shooting us down, because they know we're not going to do anything but get on the news, do a few protests, have a few chicken dinners, and then we're going to go right back to what we were doing before. There's no reason for them to stop killing us.
I mean, I think we'd be mistaken to think that, you know, police officers killing Black people is new. It's been going on since slavery. You know, that's why they were invented in America. Slave patrols, patty rollers, and all of that, to patrol slaves, to capture slaves, and even in Jim Crow was to terrorize Black people. And so it's not even a secret that a lot of police forces have been infiltrated. And I won't even say infiltrated, but just have KKK members involved in the police force. And so we know that they don't like Black people, among a whole lot of other people, but specifically, they don't like Black people, right? And there's not a whole lot that, I mean, there's been, and we've talked about this before, plenty of cases where the victims didn't do anything. You know, I could have a lighter in my my waistband or whatever. It could look like a gun, but you as a police officer are supposed to be trained to go through the motions. And so, as I said, perfect example is we see white people wilding out with the police on a regular basis. Shut up, your mama's a whore, and I'm gonna kill you, and charging at them with, you know, with guns and all kind of stuff. And they still make it home, or at least make it to the police station. Black people, not so much. So I'm not one of those people to really, I mean, I get it. There's some people who just do stupid stuff. And even if Black people are cussing out the police officer and, you know, doing any things that aren't really a threat to them, that does not give them a right to kill them. So I'm not one of those people that's on the side of saying, well, what did you do? Don't give them a reason to kill you. The only reason a police officer has to kill you is if their life is in direct danger. That's it. Me talking back to you, you know, even me resisting arrest, that's not a right to kill me. I mean, you might be able to rough me up a little bit, but you don't have the right to kill me. So there's nothing I really can do to you, because that is your job. Your job is to patrol and police and keep the peace and serve and protect and all of that. To kill me, it should be the last thing on your mind. So that's why I said I really have a problem with saying, well, you should do all you can do not to get killed. But I mean, damn, if I'm complying and I still get killed, what?
Well, weren't we talking yesterday about the spook who sat by the door? So if you guys haven't seen that movie, please go see it. It's on YouTube. It's also a book. Incredible, incredible movie made in the 70s, but it's still relevant today. So you've got Black police officers in these departments, and they're silent. They know what's going on. You see these cops now wearing this blue line, which is a desecration of the American flag, by the way, which is a violation of the law. But you got these cops doing that right there, and these Black cops know who the dirty cops are. They know all this information, and yet they're silent because they're worried about a damn check.
Can I address Maurice Laval? I think it is. This is going to sound really mean, and I don't mean it to, but I hate. And I believe you a brother. I can't tell because it got the Facebook thing. Oh, yeah, you a brother. I hate when Black people say, when are Black lives gonna matter to Black people? That sounds something like out of the playbook of white supremacy. Because even if Black lives never matter to me, that's not an excuse for white people to kill Black people. And that's some bull. You got 3 people up here that Black lives matter to, right? That's just like, to me, it's a stereotypical myth that we keep on repeating. It's almost like, well, until Black lives matter to Black people, we can't really say nothing to white people. That's silly. Like, stop saying that. Stop asking that. And Black on Black crime is a myth. It's about proximity. Just like, when is the last time you heard the term, all of them, you see all of them white on white crimes taking place, or the Asian on Asian? You don't. It's just something that white supremacy has labeled and given to Black people. Black on Black crime. When a Black eye is going to matter to Black people? That it matters to Black people, but it's still not a pass to kill Black people.
Some of our people just do too much, though.
But describe do too much.
No, I mean, I've seen it done. I mean, I'm not saying what you're saying is wrong. What I'm saying is, I'm gonna drop down a generation. Talk about these youngsters and some of the stuff that they be doing. I talk to them every day, and I just ask them, why would you do that? Why would you do it like that? Do you understand the problems that that's gonna cause for you? And I get what you're saying. I'm riding with you on that. But anytime you're gonna stand in the middle of the street and literally chase a cop around a police car 3 or 4 times, and then you get to reaching in your waistband, you the cop, what you gonna do when he reach in that waistband?
Well, that's a different story. And, and that's what I said. I mean, if a cop thinks that his life is really in danger, then yeah, he has the right to do what he needs to do to protect himself. I think that's true for anybody, even if you're not a police officer. But is that the norm, or is that an anomaly that you see, a Black man or boy chasing a cop around a police car? Is that normal? That's not. I wouldn't think it's normal.
I honestly believe we need to go back to the Andy Griffith way of patrolling, and you just have a big ass shotgun in your car when you know you're going to go out there and take care of some business. Other than that, we as the people, I don't think it's right as a citizen that I give the state a legal remedy to shoot me down as a citizen, because we're the ones that are supposed to give them the power to police us. So I shouldn't have a fear when a policeman comes in my neighborhood that I'm going to be shot down. I'm not saying like disarm them. I'm saying those handguns, you might want to leave that at the station. If you care business, you're going to pull this shotgun and do what you need to do. And you got to be justified. It's just going to be, and I know people say, well, that's too far fetched, but that's the way it used to be, because a lot of people do respect the law. But you can't respect the law when these guys are coming in there and shooting people in cold blood, covering up 2 months before the people find out what's going on. And then as the people, when a cop is in a situation as a public official, we have a right to know every cop that was involved in that incident, when they were hired and all that other stuff. And maybe we might, take care of business ourselves.
Well, I tell you what, I was out of town when this happened. I'm in town now. And how do we make it stop? I would look at every activist in the city. Why do I have to drive in 4 hours to schedule a meeting with the people who are in the city with you? See, because everybody's way of making something change is different. And I'm gonna be honest, that's why I march to the beat of my own drum. I'm not going through no formal complaint process. So let me give you some insight, because you won't be in that room. But I will be in there with the chief of police, who's had 4 officers in the middle of 4 police shootings where 4 people have died this month. Chief, I want to talk to you about the one that just happened in my neighborhood. And I want you to clearly understand something. that it better be right on y'all side. Because if it ain't right, the natives ain't gonna be restless. I mean, they're not gonna be quiet. They're gonna be restless. And if they're restless, they're gonna make it hard for your boys in blue to breathe on them streets that they now walk on. Now I want you to understand something, Chief. I got a lot of love for you. But when the sun go down, it's a totally different beast. And it will be very hard for your guys to patrol those neighborhoods if this shooting is not justified on your side. Now, did I ask to see the video? No, I don't need to see the video. You better make damn sure it's right. Because if they get loose, I'm the only thing that can stop them. And if it ain't right, I'm not stopping them. See, these are the conversations that you have to have with them people. I ain't going down there in that goddamn sun or that flooding. It might be flooding Monday. It's raining like hell. I'm not going down there and walk in front of the building. I don't need to. What I got to do got to go on inside of the building, not outside the building. They ain't gonna come outside that police headquarters and talk to you. You got to infiltrate the building. And that's what has to happen. Now, how many times have we done that? Because if you look at what happened to Ahmad, am I saying his name right, Demetri? Ahmad? You got the lawyers, the big time lawyers involved now. So they can't talk to him no more. So who is actually communicating with law enforcement from a community standpoint in that community now? It look good when you're on the news and you got your M16s and your open carry and you walk around looking like you're scaring and intimidating folk. But at the end of the day, did you accomplish the goal? Ms. K?
I guess just listen to what you were saying. What the question that goes through my mind is, why are you stopping them? When I say them, the people on the street from doing what they got to do. I mean, why are you stopping them?
First of all, if it's a situation where the cop had no choice, then no, you're not gonna tell my community.
Well, what about the other times when they did have a choice?
Well, I'm fresh in this game, even though it's been 8 years. I'm still fresh to this game, and you can best believe, don't nobody in this city want to answer to me. Don't you know it's a scary situation to know that a man has the ability to push buttons? He's not a politician. He's not a celebrity, but he has the power to push buttons and make shit go or make it stop. I don't want to die. I don't want you to die. We all don't want to die. You feel what I'm saying? But if something is done the right way, and death by firearm, I don't care how it's done. I mean, I think you can de-escalate that down to nothing 98% of the time, I believe. But at the end of the day, my life is just as important as a cop's, and a cop's life is just as important as mine. I think I should get a 21 gun salute when I die. They probably never give it to me. But I'm not gonna let you tear up my neighborhood if my people was out there wrong and that man had no choice but to pop his ass. No, you don't get to do that in my neighborhood. Now, what you can do, you can go to them other neighborhoods and do it, but you ain't gonna do it over here.
Well, I mean, maybe it doesn't have to be violent. Maybe it can be, we shut this place down economically.
Economically, and you know as well as Donovan, we all three of us agree that is the ultimate fix. That is the key for us getting everything that we want. But we also know it's not gonna happen.
Well, I guess I'm listening to you, so I'm saying if we're pushing buttons or not pushing buttons, to me that's like a button to push and say, hey, you know how Malcolm X did in the movie? One signal and everybody moved. I mean, to me, it seems like it'd be, because I don't agree with the violence necessarily either. I do believe in, as Malcolm X said, by any means necessary, but Why not push the button and say, hey, you know, we shutting all this shit down economically until the popo stop killing us wholesale? Well, I mean, why not do that?
We do that every night, and they still won't listen to that.
You know what? I know money talks. And so, and I mean, I've seen videos all over, you know, of us being done dirty for whatever reason, and we still spend.
You want it real, or you want to sugarcoat it right now?
I always like my straight with no chaser.
Okay, straight with no chaser. Money talks, but niggas don't listen.
I mean, I'm just going off of what you said. That's all I'm saying. I'm going off of what you said.
And I agree with you. I agree with you. But I can it's something about that sermon where you impact the economic side of it that we will just not gravitate to. We won't do it. For me and you, it's easy. I can buy black owned every day. I don't have a problem with that. I can eat black owned every day. You see what I'm saying? Matter of fact, I call my cousin. I ain't got to buy no chicken in the store. I can take that ride down the road. She can pluck a couple in the yard and get them ready for me, put them in the cooler. You see what I'm saying? So we have the discipline. But at the end of the day, look at all this stuff going on now with the corona. You see what I'm saying? I mean, I get it with graduation and all of this. But even though you're not a Maxine fan, y'all not a Maxine fan, she said what she said yesterday. Stay your ass in the house. But we make it hard on ourselves in a lot of aspects. And I saw this on one of my friends' pages, and me and him don't get along on 98% of the stuff that he posts, we go at it. But when I looked at it, nah, he right on this one. We did a little bit too much. But see, when they're out there marching Monday, they're going to put him in the middle of the march knowing that this shooting was not right. Because we escalated that. Might have been a white man that shot him, but he escalated it. Now, I hope you still my friend after today. You looking like you're going to cuss me out.
I mean, I'm just really listening, but you know, whether it's escalated or not, because I think, especially when we people do that, you know, say, oh, well, they deserve that one. I think it gives white supremacy an excuse to say, well, you know, we just continue doing what we're doing. I'm not saying we amen, you know, the behavior of the guy chasing the cop around the car, but sometimes we jump a little bit too strongly on those things than we do the actual, you know, outright murder of Black people by police officers. Like, to me, that doesn't even need to be said. Because Black people are held accountable for the shit they do on a regular basis by the police, the justice system. The justice system got just us, okay? It ain't for us, it's got just us. So, you know, people like the guy running around the car are going to be dealt with, but let's focus on the people who were doing what they were supposed to be doing and were murdered anyway. Like, I don't think we need to belabor that point already. You know, he did something he wasn't supposed to be doing. I haven't seen the video or any of that kind of stuff, so I'm only taking your word for it. But he did what he wasn't supposed to be doing. The cop legitimately felt like he was in fear, and he you know, took him out. All right. That still doesn't excuse the other things they do to Black people.
Right. Did you guys see the video up in, I think, North Dakota, where the Indian Nation is like stopping cars on interstate on the thing as it's going through their land? Mm-hmm. We need to get like that. That's what we need to do, and control economics in our communities, and not necessarily become a nation within a nation, but, you know, if we had our reparations check and we had our community, and we could be a HMOA or homeowners association within ourselves, we can hire our own security and do stuff like that. But you see these people up there all mad, but these guys got standing treaties with the United States government, and they're justified to stop anybody from coming and doing whatever they want to do. To me, without the money, we really don't have a stake in the game because we're at the bottom of the economic system, and these Maxine Waters and all these bootlick black police officers that know what is going on inside are not. I mean, don't get me wrong. I was in the military, but in the military, if my commander had told me, I want you to massacre these women and children, I have a duty to uphold the law and the Constitution. And I have a duty not to listen to that officer. Now, I might be kicked out like what Trump is doing to all these people that are dogging him out or whatever he doesn't like. But at the end of the day, if I've done the right thing, I'm going to be exonerated and I'm going to be compensated for taking that hit. Our problem is, well, I got a mortgage to make. I got hell with the mortgage. You saw a young person murdered. And you know that these guys are taking the cocaine out of the evidence room, and you're silent. And it's always these black cops that are like, well, the law is this and the law is that. 70-something% of police officers don't even know the law. They know basic arrest. That's it. So we need to get to the money. That is what's going to fix our situation. And this pandemic has shown us when you have no money, you ain't got no say. You're at the bottom. It's done.
Al said riots in the streets will have more black people dead.
So what's the difference now?
It ain't exactly.
And and I think Negroes need to understand that freedom ain't free. Everybody's scared they're gonna break it down. But they want somebody else to do it. Freedom ain't free. That Donovan's been, been in the military 24 years. He done been 100 wars and then some. He could tell you that people sometimes there's casualties to getting what you want.
It's casualties in every war. See, here's my thing. And when you said that, why did I have to drive 4 hours when there's 50 to 60 black activists and advocates in this damn city? Because on a situation like this here, the gangsters got to sit down with the gangsters. And everybody ain't got gangster in them. You gonna sit in that room with the chief. Oh, chief, it's an honor to sit in, which I don't have no salutations for you, homie. Let's talk, man. Because they ready to tear it up and they waiting on me to come out this room. So if I don't come out of here smiling, thinking that we didn't accomplish something and something really gonna get done about this, you're gonna have some problems 30 minutes after I come out this fucking room. And some of these youngsters, they don't mind dying. They already know they on the path. So they will die really fighting for what they believe in. And bottom line, in this war, the only way that we gonna get some act right is gotta be some casualties.
Right. I mean, because thinking about somebody like Martin Luther King, he kept no shade to Martin Luther King, but he kept black people docile. Oh, I'm gonna hold them off. We're gonna keep turning the other cheek. We're gonna, we gonna overcome and we're gonna do all of this when we should have just tore that motherfucker up. You know what I mean? If we would have tore it up back then, we'd be better off today. And so we keep saying, well, and I'm not saying this about you, Gary, but we're gonna wait and see. Let's see what happens. We already know what's gonna happen. It's the same old story. But I hate to say it, and we already know, for the most part, white people are scared of black people. They're scared of the revolt. They've always been scared of black people rising up. And that's why they do the things they do to us now, because they're afraid that one day we're just really going to get sick of it and we're going to tear this motherfucker up.
Brenda Limbrick says in 2020, why casualties? Stop right there, mama. That's the mentality that they've trained you to have. You can't win this war unless there is casualties. See, we have nothing but casualties right now, and all of them black and all of them on the ground dead. It's time when you say turn the other cheek, for what? They're gonna hit you in that one too. We've been the good Christian. See out here what's gonna happen? They're gonna have the protest, then they're gonna send Bishop Dixon out with a bunch of women and let's stop the killing. Here come the bullshit. And then they're gonna find a way to sweep all these murders under a rug. And then we're gonna be talking about this same thing 3 years from now because somebody else's child is gonna be dead.
Let me ask you guys this from a military.
If you're not willing to have these casualties, this is not going to stop. And it's the same as when Demetra said earlier about the economic side. If you're not willing to affect their money, then it doesn't stop.
Let me just say this real quick, and I'm going to simplify this real quick. When 9/11 happened, and we got a so-called attack, 3,000 Americans supposedly got killed or whatever. You could say 5,000, 10,000. What did we do to get our point across? This country do to get our point across? We went into Afghanistan to go kick a little ass, right? Come to find out, Afghanistan had nothing to do with 9/11. Then we went into Iraq. How many people, Iraqi people, were killed there? But nobody in our country said there's not anything wrong with what we were doing. Well, some of us did, but you know what I mean? In general, we're like, yes, 9/11, we got to avenge it and all this other stuff. But here we are as a people under the same premise of being attacked or being killed. And we're like, well, why should we hit them? But they hit us. But why should we give them casualties? Well, aren't we justified? And I'm not saying go out there and do violence. I'm just using the thing of the example of, you know, why is it that I used to tell my mom this. It was real funny because, you know, we're a military family. And I went somewhere in the street or something, and that's when the cops were doing something here in LA or something like that. And she's like, "Oh my God, you know, just be careful, stay in the house," right? I'm her baby boy. But then when they sent my ass to Afghanistan, she didn't have a problem with it. Something's wrong, y'all. It is against basic animal nature not to defend yourself and get your point across.
And we Black people are the only race of people who've been told that you need to stand down. You'll notice a lot of times these pastors will come out and speak to Black people, stop doing the killing, and they should. They should tell us to stop killing, but they don't have all that energy and rah-rah for the po-po. And that's most of the time because the pastors are on the payroll. Most of the time, these pastors are on this coalition with the police officers, and let's try to, you know, bridge the gap between the community and the police. Why? That is not on Black people to try to bridge the gap because we didn't build the gap. We didn't break the gap. That's not on Black people, but they always try to put it on us to try to, oh, let's get along with the police. No, they need to get along with us. It's not our job to do that. But a lot of times you have these pastors who are at the helm of these talks. Okay, well, we've decided, well, we, as Donovan said, you got a mouse in your pocket. Like, who is we? You've decided that for us? Because you getting an extra butter biscuit? Now all of a sudden you decided that for us?
Final thoughts, Donovan.
Oh, well, like I said, you know, how many of us have sent our sons and daughters to fight in the name of terrorism? Now, we have a domestic terrorism going on right here in the United States, and we don't want to send anybody to fight the terrorists that are shooting us down right in our own streets and in our own neighborhoods. You know, we just got to, unfortunately, there's going to be casualties. And unfortunately, we don't know who those casualties are going to be. But what they said, almost 500,000 Iraqis, civilians got killed. That's one hell of a casualty count. And we don't think nothing of it. But we're afraid to give up one person. Now, like the way I look at it, if you are not afraid, if you are afraid to fight for your own freedom, then you don't deserve to be free.
Demetra, final thoughts.
And I'll just piggyback on that. Malcolm X says, if you're not willing to die for freedom, take the word out your mouth.
I'm gonna end it with this here. Figure out a way to make it home. Maybe we can have this conversation again tomorrow. But if you don't make it home, we ain't gonna be able to talk. We ain't gonna be able to talk. Tomorrow is just open forum. If y'all got subject matter, we can run with it. I'd love to talk about, is there ever a good time for a man to put his hand on a woman?
Sounds like we got ourselves a topic.
I think we need to talk about that. Because some of these dudes' hands is bisexual. They got bisexual hands, some of them. I'm serious, man. So I want to thank y'all, man, for tuning in. We finna get ready to get up out of here. I want to thank our guests tonight, the Hamiltons. And tomorrow, is there ever a good time for a man to put his hands on a woman? We'll figure it out. I want to thank my co-host, Donovan Sadiq, Demetri K, and I am the 5-star general. We'll see you tomorrow.